Welcome to the RunTime Regret podcast. I am Joe. I will be your moderator. What this episode is about is really I want to talk about why I'm starting this podcast. I'm doing this because I haven't been able to find anything that's got the content that I really need to address what goes on a daily basis. You can find all kinds of technology podcasts. They're based upon subject, they're based upon need, but there's not really a generalist podcast that talks about all of the problems we as IT practitioners and people who surround the IT space, whether it's product owners, whatever it happens to be, what we face on a daily basis that actually makes our job significantly harder than it needs to be. Most of us understand technology. A lot of people are programmers. A lot of people are very, very proficient in what they know how to do. But there's challenges all over the place. Business, incentives, the way that the systems were designed, lack of funding for technical debt. There are things everywhere that actually just destroy our ability to be productive. And people keep coming out with new tools and technologies, and 60-70% of the stuff that comes out is actually just put in the marketplace because we've created problems that we are too damn lazy to go out and clean up. So I think it's about time somebody started talking about IT in the big sense about what's really getting in the way of us moving forward. Why me? I've spent 20 years in some of the largest financial services in the industry. I spent 15 additional years in technology consulting, conversed with over 600 clients. So, needless to say, I've seen a ton of stuff and I've probably got a lot of opinions. Before I go further, believe it or not, we do have a sponsor, which is hard for me to believe, and my producer will kill me if I do not read this. So, today's episode of Runtime Regret is brought to you by the iModel app by GrabLife. iModel is the only app that crowdsources to find clothes that fit you, which is important because you may regret having to move those bugs into production, but you should not have to look bad while you are doing it. In any case, back to the topic that I want to get through today. What can you expect? I'm going to have relatively short, focused episodes, 2, 3, 4 minutes long. I don't need to belabor a lot of these topics unless they really need significant amount of conversation or if we have individuals that want to talk. Some of my episodes will be solo like this. Some will be conversations with folks that I respect. And I will actually try to find as many people as I don't respect as possible because I think that witty banter is important for people to learn from. We will include topics around technology, unintended consequences, all kinds of challenges that we have with leadership, incentives and incentives that go wrong because those are all over the place. We'll talk about things that actually last and how we build them. We'll talk about tools and technologies. I'm a lifelong developer. I've dabbled with over 140 languages and libraries, so I'm going to go all over the place when it comes to what's going on. We're going to talk a lot about the hype cycle and provide as much clarity as I possibly can that because I have very little tolerance for people who cannot build but get on these soapboxes and start to talk about how good XYZ or new thing is. So we have a lot of different things in places that we can go. To be candid, look, I don't have all the answers, but with my breadth of experience and where I've been on the ground in some very, very high tense situations that were global in nature, I have seen a lot of things and I've seen a whole bunch of nonsense, things that I've been directly involved with, things that I've overseen, things that I brought in to consult on. So there's a whole bunch of places that we can talk. How to use this podcast. So I don't need you to agree with me. I don't need you to agree with all my opinions. I don't even need you to listen to me half the time. What I'm really here to do is to talk about all the things in tech that people want to discuss. And so if you've got an idea you need to vent, you have a topic that that isn't being addressed anyplace else, I'm happy to talk about it. There's really few things that are taboo to me at this point in time in my life. So why now? It's always a question that I feel everybody needs to answer when they start something new. I honestly feel, especially with AI, that we're kind of at this weird inflection point. Technology is accelerating, but it's always accelerating. The difference now is we're kind of like where we were with the internet, where we have a whole bunch of new individuals that are coming to light, and they're starting to use all kinds of technologies in new ways. Um, and so you've got this influx of individuals who really don't know a lot about stuff, but they're putting their hands on tools and they're doing new and interesting things that they never have before. And they understand what they've been told, but they really don't understand very much outside of the realm of the direct things that they're trying to learn. And they get themselves in all kinds of trouble trying to build things, trying to use things in ways that aren't necessarily appropriate. They use tools and technologies that aren't going to work for them. They do things with unintended consequences. And most importantly, everybody's trying to do whatever they're trying to do in the easiest way possible. And that even is with senior leaders in organizations. They avoid talking to coders because, we tend to not be the most eloquent in conversation, at least most of us. They'll listen to salespeople, they'll listen to pitches, they'll listen to just about anything except that boring person in the corner that's actually trying to tell them the truth. Now, the interesting thing is, this hasn't changed. This isn't new. Nothing has changed about that in the last 30, 40, 50 years. Nobody really wants to listen to the folks that are at the apex of understanding of technology because we tend not to be able to talk in business context and terms. So we get pushed out instantly, or a lot of offshoring happened because they just don't want to hear us. They don't want us next to them. So with all of these new people who are using tech in new ways, I want to also provide an area where we can talk about some of the older stuff that directly impacts what they're trying to do, and provide some truth and some clarity as to where things are going. So, if you sit down and you take a look at the folks that are in the marketplace doing other talks, there's a lot of good information and content out there. But again, this is really there to be a generalist show. So, in closing, hopefully you understand why I'm doing this. I did not provide a lot of content, but again, I have to explain to people what I'm really trying to do here. If this resounded with you or you're at all curious, which hopefully you are at this point in time, please subscribe, follow. I don't even know where you're listening to me at this point in time. So whatever it is that you need to do to stay in touch. I'm going to try to get some episodes out either weekly or bi-weekly. I'm going to do what I can as an IT person. I have no idea what my weeks look like because I don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you to my one sponsor, Grab Life, and we will see you again soon.